This past week had some really good wrestling and some not so good wrestling. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. This video is going to be doing a Fallout video covering NXT Takeover, Our Revolution, and also going to be covering Fallout from WWE's TLC S pay-per-view and this past Monday Night Raw. So we'll be picking, talking about not everything, just doing some bullet points on some of the more noteworthy parts of, both shows. I'm going to start out with the NXT Takeover Our Evolution show. The pre-show was interesting because we got to see what's going on with Corey Graves, and unfortunately, he announced his retirement from in-ring action, which is smart. Unfortunately, he's had some concussions, and obviously that's going to wear on him, physically over the years. But they feel confident enough in him that he has the charisma, that he still has something to give to the industry. And they announced that he was joining the NXT, an announcing team. The play-by-plays, and I think he is going to be a good addition to the show. He's a decent talker. He was decent on the mic when he was doing promos in the ring, and and his nervousness did show in the first show, but it wasn't so bad that he botched every time he opened his mouth. So he's got it. They talked about giving him a 2-year contract, and I don't know if that was announced on the pre-show. There was a video that was put on YouTube with Triple H talking to him and offering him the contract. So the 2-year contract. So we'll see where it leads. Hopefully, when this 2 years is up, it'll lead to him maybe eventually signing a new contract and going to the main roster. We'll have to see how he does. I think, someone obviously who looks a little more alternative or, rough around the edges. It isn't quite as clean cut as Michael Cole, but I think they could still use someone like him, on the main roster, either for backstage segments or, a play-by-play guy. So, we'll have to see where it happens, where it goes over the next couple of years. But congrats to Corey Graves for that. Next, something that really shocked me. We saw promos for a month about Kevin Owens' debut, and didn't know if it was going to correlate with the main event or if he was just going to show up, cut a promo. What was really going to happen? They actually kicked off the show with him, which was a great surprise, in my opinion. With him beating CJ Parker. I mean, yeah, it was pretty much a squash match, but it was a decent match. It wasn't some 10-second match, which was fine. I mean, I think just the fact that him showing up was, people have been waiting for this for a long time. And for those that aren't familiar with him, well, now you are. Now you know who he is. He made a hell of an impact in the beginning and at the end of the show, but I'll get to that in a bit. Beating CJ Parker, we got to see some of the classic Kevin Steen, moves. The flip, slam into the turnbuckle or whatever you call it, man. That's some of the stuff he pulls off, and then the suicide dives over the rope. Man, this, a guy that size typically does not move like that, and he does it flawlessly. He's really good, and even getting busted open during the match. Broke his nose. It looked like was funny to see. So yeah, busted open his first match in the WWE, and hell of a debut, really was. And the crowd was so behind him. That was great to see too. It wasn't just like, a debut and there's dead air and all you can hear is crickets. There's nothing worse than that. This crowd was fired up, and you could, I was excited for seeing him, and you could see the emotion and the excitement on his face. Uh, I've never seen a debut like that before, where you could see the emotion in the guy's face that much. It was excitement, nerves, everything. Just you could see it, and it came out, and it was just great. Um, great debut. Good for Kevin Owens. It's gonna take a while getting used to that name, but um, just like Sami Zayn or Adrian Neville, that stuff. Um, another interesting little thing, besides the squash match with Baron Corbin, his stare down with Bull Dempsey. That's a rivalry that's going to be building over the course of the next few weeks. I don't know if that's going to lead to finally a match between those two at the next big show coming up in a few months, or if they're going to just do it on a weekly show. But nonetheless, watching those two bulls go at it is going to be pretty cool. No pun intended, the bulls. The tag team match between the Ascension versus Finn Balor and Hideo Itami. Another big highlight, because when Finn Balor the week before said you're going to see something you've never seen before, I was glad I was right about that prediction. Hoping that they'd show the makeup, or body paint, face paint, whatever you want to call it. Or in this case, you could pretty much call it war paint, because they went to war with the Ascension, and Finn Balor ended up getting the win. Hideo Itami really got his butt kicked bad, and I don't know if it was a mistake, obviously, with the lighting when they did win in the end, and the spotlight was only on Finn Balor. I don't know if that was an accident or on purpose or what, but it was kind of odd. They both should have had a spotlight on them. I think there was a mistake. Although I could see, somewhere down the road, them referring to that again and having one of them turn on each other. That'd be kind of cool. But nonetheless, great tag team for now. And yeah, that entrance with Finn and the weird, I don't know what you call the headpiece, and it kind of looked like the Carnage makeup, or like a cross between the Carnage and the Venom makeup. But obviously, they're not going to do anything to copyright infringe on, Marvel Comics products, but something close. Hopefully, they won't get in any trouble for that. But I thought it was cool. It was great makeup nonetheless. Yeah, very, very, very theatrical. I was trying to think of the word, but yeah, very theatrical. Great stuff. Um, and I did hear a little snippet. I try like hell not to read the spoilers when they do, the recordings, the TV tapings the night after their big show. The only thing I did hear is that he did not show up with the body paint, makeup, whatever. So they're obviously gonna, there's gonna be some fans that want to see that all the time, because they always saw it with him in the Independence and New Japan. He always came out like that. Well, not always, but a lot of times. But they're saving it for special occasions, and that's good, because so it's not like he's going to use the same makeup all the time or paint, and where it's going to be like, oh, all right, this again. No, it's going to be a unique thing. They're going to keep it special, which is great. Um, last thing I'm going to talk about is the Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville match. Um, I'm glad they gave this the time they did. It was close to a half an hour, I think. Um, uh, Match of the night, totally. Um, in my opinion, um, this obviously was a candidate for match of the year. Unfortunately, it was after the Slammies, but hey, maybe it'll show up on the next Slammies. Who knows? But yeah, just an incredible match between these two. You talk about a match from start to finish, telling a story, drawing you in, um, feeling the emotion between these two going to war with each other, battling for that title. Man, I was on the edge of my seat. Totally. If you're a true wrestling fan, then I know you love this match as much as I did. And I get excited, watching special matches like this. And when Sami Zayn won that title, I got a big old lump in my throat. I mean, I wrote down, you know, when he won, it felt like that, like a feel good moment of the year. Um, certainly of the night. I put it right up there with Daniel Bryan winning at WrestleMania. Winning that title. It felt that big. It felt that good, and especially when the locker room cleared out and came out and celebrated with him, and the first one in the ring was Kevin Owens, and it just, man, it felt great. It felt awesome, because him debuting, and then Zayn winning his first big title in the WWE, the culmination of their hard work, all coming to a head on this night. It was emotional. It was, and they embraced, hugged, and everyone cheered for him, lifted up Zayn on their shoulders, and then they left it to him in the ring, let him have his moment by himself, and then yeah, I kind of called it, but I didn't get it quite right. But nonetheless, Owens came back down, gave him a big hug when it was just those two out there walking up the ramp, and then gave a clothesline from hell, and um, just clobbered him, and just, I don't know, a lot of jaws dropped, and just like, if they ended it with them walking up the ramp together, that's great. Um, he had the crowd behind him, and then had to have the crowd turn on him, and then he gets stretchered off. So seeing the fallout from this in weeks to come is going to be really interesting. I don't think they're going to throw um, Steen into a title shot rivalry upon his arrival, but I could be wrong. I don't know. um, Another big question is, are they going to strip Sammy of the title right away? Say he can't compete because he's injured or something. Who knows? But I can't wait. I can't wait to see where this goes. Yeah, I hope Sammy keeps the title for a while. He's been worked long and hard for it over the course of the last 2 years. But I'm glad they are renewing their old rivalry, and and you could feel it growing over the course of the evening, because when they showed Sami Zayn at one point in the locker room, that anticipation moment where they're just looking at him and he's talking to a few people, as they're passing, they're wishing him good luck and everything. And then the camera turns and they see, Kevin Owens a couple benches away from him in the locker room, and they have their own stare down, for a moment, just a brief moment. You could tell they were hinting at something, so that was cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes. And yeah, I think I even went on Twitter and said something to the effect of, hashtag follow that. Put a lot of pressure on the main roster for TLC. Big time. So yeah, show of the year in my opinion. Like I told some of my friends, all killer, no filler. Great stuff. Oh, Charlotte's match, before I forget, almost missed it. Yeah, great match. In my opinion, just want to touch on it briefly. I don't want to go on too long with this particular show, but it was great. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, in my opinion, was better than Charlotte's match with Natalya, and that was a great women's match. Sasha Banks is really coming into her own. Phenomenal. Will be great when both these women finally hit the main roster. I'm guessing somewhere over the course of the next half year, hopefully. We'll see. Maybe after next WrestleMania. It'll be great to see them, because the Divas roster is, they need some new competition. I mean, Paige is great, Emma's great, but Emma's not featured a lot. So, yeah, they need to throw some new blood in there. All right. Now on to TLC and last night's Raw. The Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose match, they got it right. I said they should make that the headliner because it is the TLC match. And, it was a good match, but I think the ending kind of killed the momentum of the whole thing. Where the monitor blew up and, caused helped cause Ambrose to lose at the end. Weird. And it looks like this feud will continue because they're supposed to go head to head on SmackDown. So I don't know if they're gonna have this continue all the way to the Royal Rumble, but nonetheless, looks like it is going to continue. So yeah, great rivalry. Just after the NXT Takeover show, it just I hate to say it, but it really did take the sales out of TLC. I mean, they tried like hell to make it unique and special, but I think honestly, Monday Night Raw was better than the pay-per-view, in my opinion. So yeah, it'll be great to see that feud continue. Ambrose really needs a win. He really does. After losing the feud to Wyatt, he desperately needs that. So we'll see if he finally gets his win. He's on a bit of a losing streak. 3 in a row now, honestly, I think. Is it more? He lost 1 to Seth, 2 to Bray. Yeah, nonetheless, Ambrose really needs a win. Ryback and Rusev both got big wins at the pay-per-view, and then they had a stare down at Monday Night Raw. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a feud that's starting up right away. It had a big feel to it, honestly, in my opinion. There's there's all these rumors that Rusev is going to be undefeated until WrestleMania, and then he's going to face someone like John Cena, and John Cena will finally beat him. I'm starting to wonder if Rusev would, Rusev versus Ryback would be a better feud, because they're really building Ryback again, and the crowd. Wow, I mean, the crowd is really behind him. And that's great to see, because they need more guys like, well, not like Ryback specifically, but they need strong baby faces on the main roster. You got Cena, uh, and they're building Ryback up. And, uh-oh, somebody wants to get in on the act again. Hey, what you doing? Say hi. Say hi, Shadow. Always got to get in on the act. I don't know. It's funny. Here, we'll put this over here. You crawl up there. There you go. You gonna lay down? What you gonna do? Oh, you're gonna mess with my bottle. All right. Where was I? Ryback and Rusev. I think this would be a great feud. And honestly, in my opinion, if they're gonna make it for the United States Championship, that'd be great. You know, if they don't keep the whole undefeated thing going till Mania, you know, whatever. You know, if it makes sense, do it. You know, although I can see them stretching this out a couple months. You know, maybe they'll keep it going till Mania. Who knows? But nonetheless, the rivalry between Ryback and Rusev does it feels big. It feels good. So yeah, tell me in the comments below what you think of that rivalry, because I think it works. I really do. Two, you know, big guys like that. Two big guys. Roman Reigns returning. That was great. And it looks like his first match, or first big rivalry coming back, is going to be against Big Show. I don't know if they're going to draw that out for 6 weeks till Royal Rumble, or if that's just going to be his first comeback big match. But he certainly made a statement on the pay-per-view and on Raw with that. So, welcome back, Roman Reigns. Yeah, definitely missed. Definitely going to get pushed big time. And hopefully it all works out well. Hopefully he stays healthy. Yeah, he deserves it. Hard-working guy. Looks like the tag team championship feud is going to continue between the Usos and the Miz and Mizdow. Almost lost you. Lay down, girl. Let's move that. It's a good rivalry, you know, but they obviously need something fresh. We've been seeing over the course of the last week, between last week and Monday Night Raw now, new vignettes or vignettes, excuse me, the Ascension. The only thing I'm wondering about, though, is this new look. They didn't have this look in NXT. Now, with these new vignettes, new promos, they're cutting. You know, they got some war paint on. It's starting to look a little bit like. I mean, you're using some of the symbols, the eye, you know, the Egyptian eye thing. I'll have to look that up, see what that is. It's like, is that like the Eye of Osiris or something? Something from, you know, from ancient Egypt or ancient whatever, something. So I like that, but how they're acting, and they always had this power act, you know, whatever. But I saw a post from, was it Laurinaitis? Can't think of the guy's first name. One half of the Road Warriors. Is it Animal? Yeah, Hawk passed away. It's Animal, isn't it? I think. Um, Saying that it's resembles too close to the Road Warriors or Legion of Doom, and that they should do something a little more original. Yeah, I see it, but I don't think they're going to go full blown with this. Excuse me. I don't think they're going to go full blown with the whole Road Warrior look. I see the similarities, but I think they're going to stay original. They're trying to do something unique, as they jump to the main roster. I think they need that. Um, but yeah, let me know what your opinion is on that too. I'd love to hear it. I like it. I think it's great. It's like, hey, it's been long overdue since they've been coming to the main roster. So we'll see if this gets, um, if they get involved in the championship feud. It might be too soon though, but we'll see what happens. Great to see them coming to the main roster nonetheless. Ziggler, wow, I did not see that coming. Ziggler winning, uh, but it wasn't his hometown, so it makes sense. I just didn't think Harper was going to be losing the championship that quick. They might hot potato it for a while too. Who knows? But nonetheless, Ziggler. Yeah, I screwed up on that prediction. Ziggler is a four-time Intercontinental champion now, and I like him as IC champ. It seems like him as IC champ and Rusev as United States champ. It seems like these two secondary championships are starting to, um, how do I say, starting to earn the prestige back that they had back in the day. At least to me, it feels like that. Let me know what you think about that. Chris Jericho being on Raw, that was priceless. Yeah, he was on a bunch of different segments. Opening segment, the segment with Ryback and Rusev, that was cool. But then getting squashed by Lesnar. And it seems like whenever Heyman's put in a match lately, it seems like Lesnar shows up to save him. So yeah, it was kind of predictable, but you really didn't know when Lesnar was going to show up next. Obviously, leading to the Royal Rumble, you knew he was going to show up soon. So yeah, great timing. It was great to see Lesnar back. I know some fans were pissed off when he showed up first part of that Chris Jericho match without the title. A lot of people I saw voicing their opinions about that. They were pissed. It's like, wow, you disappear for several months and you show back up again. You didn't even have the title. Well, I wonder if, people backstage read those reactions because then he showed up at the end in, the end of the cage match against, with Cena versus Rollins, which, by the way, I think that cage match was a lot better than their tables match at the pay-per-view. But nonetheless, yeah, John Cena won that match to remain number one contender to Brock's championship. And because I was like, it a perfect opportunity for John Cena to come down and rescue Chris Jericho, but they saved it for the end when Brock Lesnar came and interfered in the cage match. And that actually made a lot of sense. I'm glad they did that. It was a great ending. I know my wife didn't like that, but but yeah, I like that. And also the whole unholy alliance thing hinted at between Rollins and Heyman. Oh, great stuff. Can't wait to see where this goes. If it was just a one night thing for where he had, Lesnar come down and help him win this match, was it planned at all? Was it a last minute thing? Are they really in cahoots together? I can't wait to see where that goes. So yeah, it's going to all lead over the course of the next 6 weeks to the Royal Rumble. People are going to start getting revealed as far as who's going to be in it. And I guess now it's a 30-man Royal Rumble. It used to be 40. Because I think they heard that they were going to try to incorporate some ECW guys into it. But I guess that's not happening now. I don't know. Because I think I heard it's in Philly. But yeah, we got a month and a half till the Royal Rumble. So plenty of time to, build these rivalries, keep them going. I hope it doesn't get stale. They're gonna have to do it smart because it's a long time between shows. Usually it's like 3 or 4 weeks. I like it when it's 4 weeks. That's like just a good amount of time, but they have plenty of time to really make the Royal Rumble special. So, and who knows? Maybe they're going to incorporate the comeback of Orton in there somehow, and he might get thrown into the title mix. That'd be great. I'd like to see that, because then you don't know if he's going to turn on Cena or not, but nonetheless, it looks like he's going to return as a babyface, so we'll have to see if and when he shows up. I think he will, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's it. In my opinion, overall, to sum it up, I don't want this to go on too much longer. I think the NXT show was way better than TLC, but the Monday Night Raw last night following TLC was better than the pay-per-view. So, I think that kind of made up for the, I don't want to call it pay-per-view stale. It just, I don't know. There was only, a couple of matches I think that really mattered. I think starting off with the big ladder match was great between Harper and, I almost said Harper and Rowan. Damn, I'm tired. Harper and Ziggler. That was a great match. And, the match between Rollins and Cena, that was okay. It was great to see, Roman Reigns again. And of course, the Ambrose Wyatt feud is great. So, but wow, I think a lot more people are going to be watching NXT though from now on. That feud between Zayn, Owens, and to see where a few other of those feuds go is going to be great to see. So that's it for this one. Put in the comments below if you like. Let me know what some of your highlights, your personal highlights of these shows were. Which show did you like better? Let me know. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys.